Do you like basketball? Basketball. I like, but I'm not good at. Yes, I'm not.
Me too.
We're above it.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the State of the League podcast, the only NBA podcast that's been featured as a guest on the most recent episode of Nerd Sesh. You can probably go to
is it
Nerd
out?
Sesh. By the time this is out, I think it'll be out, but they said it might be out Friday now that I'm thinking about it. So maybe it's not. Anyway, keep an eye on Nerd Sesh's YouTube channel podcast, wherever you like to listen to those brilliant gentlemen. And you will be able to hear myself and Mr. Escobar here flex all of our NBA trivial knowledge. Mine's fairly limited. Pablo, I feel like you're pretty good at shit like that. And I'm happy how I did in the animal round. That's where I felt I was going to do confident, and I knocked it out of the park. So I'm happy with my performance.
I had some polls that surprised myself. The Al Harrington. When it comes to, I get Al Harrington and Anthony Randolph, like that's the same exact guy in my mind. Just bald guy. I think I think that's what Al Harrington looked like. So I was just gonna pick one of the two. But yeah, when you guys are on the toilet listening to Turd Sesh, watching the poop grids, you'll hear us.
Yeah, if you can hear it over the flushing, you probably have to turn your volume up. Yeah, I'm your host Jack, aka joestar. With me as always, the world famous Pablo Escobar. Where do you want
Christian McCaffrey's wife.
What about Christian McCaffrey's wife?
I just remembered there was some drama with her wedding dress. I love finding out little like influencers who there's a girl on TikTok who's like really, really popular who reviews wedding dresses. And I was like, I can't believe this is a thing. But she was going in on Christian McCaffrey's wife's wedding dress back when they had their wedding, and then they came out and called her evil. They said she was being like mean and evil for criticizing her dress because it was her big day or whatever. And then the girl clapped back and she like went on this whole rant about why the dress was ugly and why like it promotes trad wife conservative harmful values and stuff like that. And it was nuts. I and you know what else? I hate finding out that the guy that you know from a certain niche actually isn't that good at the niche. Like I've been watching a lot of videos about Alex Honnold. Do you know him?
No, I do not.
He's the free solo guy, the climber.
Yeah, okay, we've talked about him before then. Yeah, I'm not good at names.
Yeah, so I thought he was the GOAT climber, but then I was in some climbing Reddit threads. They're like, yeah, he's the best solo climber. But let's be clear, guys. There's a level of courses, like the highest level, he's like 9 tiers below or something like that. I was like, oh man,
oh shit.
And then I also read an article about this dude who's like he has no lactic acid buildup, and he says he can run forever. And then I was Googling to see if he's like competitive in ultra marathoning, and they were like, yeah, he says that. That's just how every one of those guys are built. And he's actually not that good. He's just the leader of self-promotion. Everyone hates him because he promotes himself too much. He's not even close to the GOAT. The GOAT of ultra marathoning is actually some woman who's a teacher. And
good for her.
She just goes forever. Also, David Goggins is not that good. I think he's like
that doesn't make that's not that surprising. Because Goggins, like I don't know the guy that you're talking about, but David Goggins very clearly to me hits like all of the Andrew Tate buttons with like less like I'm in love with you, oh my god, go on this webcam for me, and more you're not going to be a man unless you buy the course that I'm selling online, but very much similar to like 60 90 seconds of him doing something that ostensibly is really manly combined with like a cool Joe Rogan appearance or something, and like the self-promotion is out of the fucking park. But the guys who are like really serious about stuff like that do not leave their fucking house except to go run 140 miles in the desert heat or something. They're not like getting on Instagram being like, hey, what's up? Got like, doing all this promo shit.
they are running for days, like straight up consecutive days spent running. I don't understand how it's possible. And they don't get tired, or they don't get physically drained. They just get tired from like fall asleep tired. But yeah, the woman, the goat, her name is Courtney something. She was talking about she has her special trick is the pain cave. So whenever she's like wearing down or feeling pain, she has in her mind, she goes into a cave and then she starts chipping away at the wall. And this is like she does this and she's able to just run infinitely. I don't understand how it works, but yeah, I do appreciate David Goggins for staying in the Kobe Mamba mentality, psychotic physical self-motivation path, and not veering into the other path, because that's like he's definitely in that sphere. But
Mhm.
the other guys in that sphere, like Jordan Peterson, is like, you need to improve yourself. And I hate the trans people.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
David Goggins has stayed away. He's as far as I know, he hasn't weighed in on any of those things. So I think that's a W.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, literally from anybody who exists in that sphere, just like minding your own business is probably the best you're gonna get from someone like that. So yeah, I get, especially yeah, compared to Jordan Peterson, if you haven't said anything at all, you're probably in the clear right now. What do you want to start talking about basketball wise today? We have the Olympics have progressed a fair bit, and then Lauri Markkanen got a big extension. And I saw the movie Trap last night, so we could do anything. Where do you want to go?
We'll save trap for the end.
Okay.
Let's start with Olympics.
All right. So the what is it? Semis, I guess, are set. France plays Germany tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. The
Oof.
United States plays Serbia tomorrow at 3 p.m. Did
Oof.
you? The two games I watched were Serbia, Australia, and Canada, France. Both of them were really exciting games that came down to the wire. And there was a lot of interesting narratives involved in both games. Did you watch either of those?
And I saw the full highlight video of Serbia versus Australia, and I saw part of the highlight video for France and Canada, and I watched some of Germany versus who were they playing?
Not Brazil. Fuck.
Oh,
Who?
Giannis, Greece.
Greece. Yeah.
I was watching it at like 5 a.m. because what's it called? They for a while Greece was about to upset. They were like ahead, and then I
Yeah,
was
they were up.
watching.
It was a day of comebacks yesterday. In pretty much every single game, there was a fairly major comeback mounted by the winning team. So yeah, I think Greece led by 12 at one point in that game, which that's really surprising considering the lack of NBA talent around Giannis. And then the big one, Serbia was down 24 to Josh Giddey, Patty Mills, and the rest of the Outback in the first half of that game, and they obviously came back and won.
I saw Sam Vecini tweeting some Josh Giddey slander. He said it was his fault, not fully, but he said he had a bad game as far as decision making wise in attack. And listen, there's a lot of Josh Giddey hype right now because I guess he did pretty good in the Olympics, but is he gonna be making threes in the NBA this season? Are his oh, I'm coughing. I'm being
Mm-hmm.
attacked by the woke mind virus.
By the Josh
Are
Giddey mind virus, he's trying to silence you.
He is crikey. Is he gonna be making those ugly 1 foot mid range fadeaways? Do I want him shooting a bunch of those? I do not. So
Yes,
my confidence index has not gone up.
and he'll be really good in the half court too.
Oh, what every highlight of him running up that entire court. Josh Giddey highlights may as well be Devin Hester highlights.
That's fun. That's fun. That's a good line. Fuck, what was I just gonna say? I meant to plug in my Apple Pencil and I got completely derailed by by my line of thought. Oh, Josh Giddey. So yeah, Giddey, the second half of the Serbia Australia game, disastrous. Disastrous. Serbia is not what I would call a team. They play good team defense. It's not a team full of like NBA caliber defenders though. They have some lengthy switchable guys. And I think Jokic, phenomenal defensive game from him.
Oh, I saw his clutch defensive plays. He knocked Patty Mills' basket off the rim, and then he got a steal. It was like, wow.
Yeah, the knocking it off the rim was one of the like best plays I've ever seen in the Olympics live. The problem with Team USA and watching so much Team USA, it's pretty rare to see like a pivotal moment late in a game because they routinely get away. I know the Spain gold medal game back in 2008 was really close, and there's a lot of cool clutch moments from that. But yeah, Serbia versus Australia, Jokic was really good defensively, even though in the fourth quarter, offensively, it was a combination of Serbia not going to him that much and him like fucking up. He routinely dribbled, like if he was posting up, he dribbled middle into the paint, and Australia just smacked it away from him. It felt like that happened 3 straight isolation possessions with him, and Patty Mills and Josh Giddey bailed them out on the other end. It was a really good like first half for those two, but yeah, in the second half, I think Patty Mills literally did not score a basket until he hit like a fadeaway mid-range jumper over Jokic to send it into overtime where they still lost. It was a crazy game.
Yeah, Duop Reith is fighting for his life. when they play Denver, he's going to be on the bench this year. Be like, man, thank God I'm not the guy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, obviously, we fuck with Duop Reith on this channel. I don't even know if the Duop Reith guy is still in the Patreon. Because, dude, what threw me for a loop today? 30 minutes ago, we lost one of our strongest soldiers, Andrea Cambiaghi. He's out of the Patreon. I couldn't believe it, dude. Our Italian ambassador. So I mean, maybe he's like coming back under a different name. And if he doesn't, we're happy to have you here on the YouTube. Anyways, we just won't answer any of your questions anymore. If you leave them in the comments, we can't get to them. Fuck. What was I just talking about?
But betrayal from Andrea Cambiaghi. No,
I know.
Jokic and Duop Reith.
Oh yeah, when Duop Reith is like when Jokic is posting up Duop Reith, even though we fuck with that guy a lot, we fuck with Duop Reith. I think he'd be good in a bigger role. He is so violently 6'9" when you see Jokic post up on him. Like you think Duop Reith is like a big guy, and then you're like, oh okay, he's not that. He's like a nice forward size. He's a little undersized to be like a full-time center in a matchup where the other guy is a legit 7 feet tall.
Yeah. So what did Jokic do? Did he had like a near triple-double, right?
Yeah, 21, 14, 8 assists, and 4 steals for Jokic. So that was really cool. Giddey had 25, 4 assists to 7 turnovers, though. And yeah, like I said, once Serbia settled in defensively, he was just so intensely a non-factor on offense. Like, he hit one crazy floater that was really instrumental in sending it to overtime in the last like 2 minutes or so. That was a good shot. And he hit a couple like wide open jumpers. When they left him completely alone, he put the ball in the basket for what that's worth. But yeah, in terms of like, this is the guy who's going to be like the cornerstone of Australia's national team for the next 12 years. He was really ineffective. It
be the cornerstone of my team for the next 12 years.
Matas, baby. Matas, and you can have, it's not Cooper Flagg. There was another guy who was like crazy athletic that I saw some high school tape of.
Or was it AJ DeBanza?
No.
Was it Ace Bailey?
Ace Bailey, that's who it was. Yeah, Ace Bailey. He was sick as fuck. So Matas and Ace
he'll be
Bailey.
At Rutgers.
Shout out to Rutgers. What's wrong with Rutgers?
Rutgers. They're New Jersey. Yuck.
Oh, what places do you like? Jeez, Indiana.
Well, in the U.S., very few and far between. I'll tell you that much. I'm not even a New York guy.
I mean, I don't fuck with. I've never been to New York City, but I can't either. I can't speak on like the surrounding area of New York State.
Pittsburgh is a good.
Do you like big, expansive? Would you like Montana, for example?
Nah, too cold.
so it has to be warm.
It almost has to be like I can tolerate cold because I've grown up in cold, but also Montana, dangerous animals everywhere.
I wouldn't say dangerous. I would say,
And
they're
the most dangerous animal,
man, there's really not that many people in Montana. You could go to Wyoming. There's pretty much nobody there. It's like I almost said there's 13,000 people in the state of Wyoming. That can't be true. It's probably like 1.3 million or something.
I don't know. God might have been speaking through you on that one.
Hey, maybe. I like to think that when I make a mistake, it's God speaking through me, and He's trolling me, epic style. He's like, "Ha! I made you fuck up, dude."
Would you be a Montana guy or a Wyoming guy?
I could be. Because I don't know. I like nature. I like going on big walks and stuff like that. I don't necessarily need. The thing about that is like what I like about living in a big city and public transportation and having like walkable shit is that the what I really don't like about driving is the stop and go nature of it. I feel like that's what often makes me super car sick. And so in like a big place like that, when I'm driving a car, it's just like long stretches of like I'm going uninterrupted on like dirt roads and shit. And so that's chill. I like stuff like that. But I am kind of a weenie. I don't know if I could hack like straight up ranch life or anything. I would need to be fucking loaded and then I could go chill out there maybe. And I would still want really good internet connection. I would still want to be able to do all of my fun stuff. I just think it'd be cool to live there.
Yeah, it definitely is nice, but it is a little too far away from everything. If I was gonna be a nature guy, I would want to go to New Zealand. There's no dangerous animals there.
Is that true? Do they all go to Australia?
They're the opposite of Australia. All they got is we have a New Zealander in here.
Hey, shout out to that guy. Not
Scotty Barnes. That's who it is. Yeah.
Not the Boomers. I wonder if New Zealand's national team has a mascot.
It's probably the All Blacks.
Oh, it might be. Dude, you know G-Fed?
Yeah.
He got flown out by the All Blacks to Sacramento to go watch them play rugby over there. So
they should have flown him to New Zealand.
It would have been a lot longer. Their official nickname is the Tall Blacks.
Okay.
That's good. I like that. That's fun. Oh man, yeah, America, you gotta get your wordplay up, man.
We can't name our team that.
Yeah, I was not implying. Could you imagine? Okay. So yeah, France versus Germany. I think. There's been a lot of shit about France, like not really being that good, but they just beat Canada. Guerschon Yabusele balled the fuck out against them. He had like 20-something points. They could not stop him from getting to the free throw line or getting dunks and layups. It was pretty impressive. And then the other big storyline of the France-Canada game was Rudy Gobert. Not really, but apparently he had surgery on his finger like 3 days ago.
So he said he did. He's like, they're like, why aren't you in the starting lineup? He's like, finger thing, whole thing. Had to have surgery. I had surgery at the Olympics.
Yeah.
But I guess he's in France, so his doctor's there. But then the coach was like, he did not have surgery.
Well, I mean, I'll just put it this way. He says he had surgery. He still came and played like 5 of the worst minutes of France's like game. Like when he went onto the floor, Canada was like, "Oh, sweet. We can handle this. This is how we like have prepared and everything." And when he sat back down, the dancing bear, Guerschon Yabusele, balled out. So that was cool. Jamal Murray.
Did you see the dancing bear, the American dancing bear, the original dancing bear? He's already on top of it. Draymond Green. That was his nickname at Michigan State. He was the dancing bear. I already saw a podcast clip where he's making fun of Gobert he's like, you're not on Team USA and you're getting benched. It's like the hate runs so deep.
Oh my God. Yeah. I wonder, like, is it just straight up like player beef? I wonder what's happened. Has anything gone down off court between those two, where like to justify him fucking, or is it also him taking what he feels are Draymond's rightful Defensive Player of the Year awards as well? Okay, I mean,
Yeah, they
yeah.
they all hate him for that. Bam, Anthony Davis, all those guys hate Gobert for that. And then, so the people who hate Gobert are number one, a lot of his teammates. I guess he's
Yeah.
like kind of a difficult guy. Number two, all the people in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. Number three, all the players who wreck him when they see him, like Kevin Durant. He's actually trash, and other people. Number four, Draymond specifically hates him because he attacked him, and he wants to be like justified in attacking him. So he hates Nurkic for the same reason too.
It's so funny to imagine like Draymond. He's like, yeah. I mean, you're getting benched on Team U, or you're getting benched on Team France. Someone should hit you for that. That's you deserve to be punched in the head. That's kind of
strangle that guy.
Yeah. Oh man. So France versus Germany. I'll pick France. Fuck it. I haven't watched that much Team Germany basketball. I know Franz has been having a solid Olympics. His stock is up. Jamal Murray's is down. Literally just like nightmare Olympics for Jamal. 6 points per game on like 29% from the field and 13% from three, I believe. Super cool to see that when we have probably the contract extension that defines this era of Nuggets basketball looming on the horizon. That's really nice. This is instilling a ton of confidence in me, Jamal. Keep hooping.
Maybe you should trade him for Josh Giddey. Imagine the passing between Josh Giddey and Nikola Jokic. That'd be two of the best passers.
Yeah, there'd be one guy making a ton of really cool passes, and there'd be one guy. Josh Giddey had a pass that pissed me the fuck off, where I don't remember who it was. Oh, it was Duop Reith. Was like right next to him on the wing, and he just like threw it behind his back for no reason. I was like, oh, stop it, okay? Knock it off. I don't know. It wasn't really that justified in terms of bad basketball, but compounded on everything else I don't really enjoy about his game. For him to then be like, whoop, here's like, I could do a simple pass, but I'm being silly. Like that, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. And then Team USA versus Serbia, who you got? It's tough. It's tough. I mean, who's Vasily Micic?
Hey. March Meechness. We're not in March. What month are we in?
August.
Oh, there's no pun for that. We lost Augusto Dabos in. Oh no, we lost.
No, Augusto is still here. Okay. Yeah. So Augusto August. Damn, you get double requests, I guess.
Oh whoa. What's it called? Yeah. I would love for there to be some kind of upset, but there probably won't be. Who is? So what are the other matchups?
It's France versus Germany and USA versus Serbia, and that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh crap. We're in the big time. So let's see. USA is almost definitely gonna win. Who would you like to see? Well, yeah, then you want Jokic. I wouldn't necessarily want to see France or Germany win.
Yeah, no, I don't care about either of them. It's cool. It's cool if Wemby gets a medal right away.
If Gobert doesn't play, then it's epic.
Yeah, the GOAT case is starting early, baby. Literally medals as a fucking 19-year-old. He's so sick. But yeah, I think USA almost certainly wins. There's just too much talent to overcome. A bronze for Serbia. It's based. I like it. That would be cool. I think you would probably rather see, I guess, I don't know. France feels like the better matchup to throw at Jokic, but he lit them the fuck up already earlier in these Olympics, and he kind of has Gobert's number. Wemby's all right at defending him right now. He's pretty good, but I don't know. I guess I'd probably still go France over Germany. I don't think Mo Wagner and Daniel Theis are really providing that much resistance, but I think, yeah, Ranking them, I would go USA, and then Serbia is the second best team left at this point. Do you have any other Olympic thoughts?
No. Oh, I was gonna say just on the latest Bill Simmons podcast, they're platforming some Jamal Murray worry. They're like, hey man, if you pull up the highlights of a few years ago, he's not moving like that anymore. They're really worried.
I want to go back through and find what Bill Simmons was saying about the Ringer had him ranked 15th in the league after they won the title. So I want to go back and find some receipts on what Bill Simmons, because I guarantee the aura of sweeping LeBron had Bill Simmons on his fucking knees for that Canadian.
He's just worried now. He thinks he's washed.
Well, he also is alone on Giddy Island in that episode. I saw that as a quote that he said today. So I guess if the guy who is selling Jamal Murray stock is buying Josh Giddey stock, I feel comfortable with where the markets are at.
Maybe not the best, and maybe you shouldn't say Giddy Island.
No,
Maybe
you should not. It's a terrible turn of phrase. Oh my god, we're on like Giddy basement prison cell or something. I don't know.
You're in the Giddy Bogans.
What is Bogans?
That's Australia.
Oh, we're in the Giddy Outback Steakhouse.
I think Bogans is a place like in the Outback, but also there's Bogan Australia people, which I think just means like it's like a certain accent in Australia. They might be like the country Australian people. Australians, let me know.
Let me know. All right.
The New Zealand guy probably knows by proximity.
Yeah, they probably get like messages in bottles floating over from Australia all the time, and they're like, God damn it, there's too many of these, stop sending, we have too many bottles here. All right, Lauri Markkanen, the finisher, 5-year extension with the Utah Jazz for $235 million, waited specifically today to sign the extension because he cannot be traded this year, as he can't be traded for 6 months, and the trade deadline for this upcoming NBA season is February 6th. In 6 months, it will be February 7th for you mathletes out there. That breaks down to around $47 million annually. I looked at the article Woj put out. It didn't really mention the structure as ascending or descending, so I'm just kind of operating on like a fairly flat year-by-year rate. And there's no options, no team options, no player options, anything like that. So looking at this from the perspective of the Jazz, how do you feel?
Well, it makes it abundantly clear that Lauri Markkanen showed up to training camp, saw Bryce Sensabaugh and what he's going to become this year, and he said, I need to be in on this long term. I need to be next to this. I need to be playing with this. By the way, I think Bryce Sensabaugh's mom followed me on TikTok, so that's epic.
Oh my god!
Because did you see a video of him went viral?
No, I didn't see that. Every video of him should go viral.
Every video of him should, because he's sexy, like the Japanese account said.
Well, his mom is his mom going to be cool with you saying that?
Well, I'm not saying it. The Japanese man is saying. I think it's a Japanese man.
Okay.
The video of it was his girlfriend. She took it. She said, when your boyfriend is in the NBA, but he still likes to come to the park and play with kids, and it was Bryce at the playground playing with some kids. I was a little bit offended. They weren't on their knees bowing down to him. They weren't worshiping him. They were just treating him like a person, but he's above a person. He took one mid-range shot in the video, but she cut it off before we could see if it went in.
We can assume that he made it.
I wonder if it went in.
I think it went in.
But yeah, I got tagged 20,000 times in it, and then I think his mom followed me. So that'll be epic. Maybe we could get her on here. We can collab.
Hell yeah. That would be so fucking funny. The Sensabaugh segment brought to you from Mrs. Sensabaugh. Sweet.
So when did he make his first mid-range jumper? Is Jordan Clarkson still in Utah?
Yeah, I think so, but I think his contract is almost over. Let me see. Jordan Clarkson contract.
They stopped playing him at the end of last year,
Good.
they were like he's definitely leaving, so we're gonna keep him healthy for his next team. But now
Yeah.
there is no next team.
So he's getting when did he sign this? It doesn't say exactly, but 2 years, $28 million. This offseason, I guess. He's making $14 million next year and $14.2 million the year after. So he's an unrestricted free agent in 2026-27.
No.
I think they could trade him for 14 mil. I think a team, I don't know, second apron. You can't. Can you pay a Jordan Clarkson level player $14 million?
With the Nuggets.
No, we don't have money. They're cheap, okay? So we don't have money for that. You're getting Julian Strother minutes, and we'll figure it out.
Who could you like? Who does Milwaukee? Could they get him?
Maybe, but like, what does that do for you? And probably not because they're super expensive still.
Ugh, there's no place for him except for on Utah taking ice Bryce minutes. Wait, so how much is Lauri going to be making? 50 million a year or what?
47. So you have 50 pretty much.
Okay, that's okay as long as he keeps up his current production.
Yeah, looking past next year, 47. I think in 2025-26, it's like 22nd in the league in salary. So I feel like it pretty firmly locks you into, if you're trading for him, he's going to have to be your second best player unless you are paying like Boston Celtics, Phoenix Suns type money for your entire team.
Yeah, so I wonder. So he can't be traded until February.
No, he can't be traded until next year.
Oh, next year. Okay. I wonder if he'll be traded over the life of this contract. It'll probably depend on how many of those guys hit in the draft of all their young guys. So, yeah, it's essentially a bet on their young core. It's a bet on him. I don't know if they expect him to be their franchise player going forward. Do you think they do?
To me, this contract, I feel like they signed him to it because obviously you don't want to lose him for nothing. He wants to be there right now, but I think if we're looking at this in a couple of years and it's like, okay, he's getting 47 million and we have 3 years left on this contract and he's still playing like this, he's still like 22-8, 23-9 on really good efficiency. I feel like that is a contract that fringe contenders, you will get offers for still. Golden State was reported to have offered a bunch of picks in Moses Moody, but they wouldn't throw in Podziemski, and that was like the last offer before Utah hung up the phone and we got to this point. So I guess they feel like either they will get a better offer than that at some point, or he just kind of plays this out there and you have like a really good all-star spearheading a team of guys who are developing, which I don't love that vision, to be honest.
Danny Ainge is like, listen, if I'm giving up White, I'm getting White in return. You're giving it to me. I don't know. I wonder if they're gonna try. Could you still tank? Would it still make sense to tank this season?
Yes, I feel like so because this draft is so good. Like there's I don't really feel, if you look at their young core, I love Bryce. I love him. He's great. Let's look at the rest of the young core. Walker Kessler, already on the trade block. Keontae George, solid. I mean, fine. It's fine. Who the fuck else do they even have at this point?
They got Cody Williams.
Oh,
Isaiah
yeah,
Collier,
of course.
so we haven't seen any of them yet. And then Kyle Filipowski.
Yeah, so when you talk about their young core, 3 of the most promising guys, or 2, and then Filipowski is like whatever.
He could be a Olynyk.
He could be a Olynyk, and that's, I mean, if he looks like me, he's winning. So like their promising guys are really young still, so it makes sense to tank again and just pick up like if you have the choice between winning 37 games or yeah, like full on getting like a top 7 pick in this draft, I feel like the latter is more beneficial to everybody involved.
The problem is Will Hardy's a tryhard.
That's true. And Lauri Markkanen is good. How the fuck is he at 63% true shooting off of shots generated by Jordan Clarkson? Jordan Clarkson driving kicks. He's fucking feasting on them. That's why I don't like. I'm high. I'm Lowry pilled if he was on a good team.
Well, Jordan Clarkson has a certain degree of gravity because he doesn't pass. So they're like, we'll leave that guy open. What's Clarkson going to do? Pass to him? And then sometimes he does.
Whoa, and that blows everybody away. All right, so I got a little would you rather here because like I said, I'm Lowry pilled, so I want to gauge your pilledness. He just averaged 23 points and 8 rebounds on, again, 63% true shooting, 48, 39, 89 shooting splits, 39.9% on 8 3-point attempts per game. So pretty big volume, especially for a power forward. The only other players who qualified, like with games played and everything on NBA.com, to average 20 points while shooting at least 38% from 3 on at least 6 attempts were Luka, Steph, Brunson, Kyrie, Paul George, and CJ McCollum. So very guard-centric shooting, caliber of shooting. There's really not that many big guys who shoot the basketball like he does. I figure Cat was probably like 5 3-point attempts per game or something this season, so that's probably why he missed the cutoff. Would you rather, the first one, Kyle Kuzma?
First Lauri?
Yes.
Oh,
I put this as a gradient as we ascend. So this one's supposed to be he's handsome, he's a cutie pie, but I would also rather have Lauri Markkanen. Miles Turner.
Oh, get Miles Turner out of my face.
Yeah, I'm going Lowry as well. But Miles Turner is good. He's legitimately very good. Julius Randle.
Oh, get Julius Randle out of my
face. So you thought about Miles Turner, but Julius Randle's just no.
Miles Turner's probably, I guess it would be controversial to say that, but I think I would probably rather have Miles Turner just in terms of I'd rather have the low usage.
Yeah.
And he fell off a little defensively, but I'd rather have the low usage rim protecting stretch.
But he's great offensively. Great offensively.
What did he shoot last year?
I know on mid ranges, like the free throw line pull up jumper that Indiana was running for him a lot, he was super efficient. From 3, I don't think he was like insane this past season. 36% on 4.2 attempts per game. Overall for the season, he was 17 points per game on 61% true shooting.
But yeah, I think I would rather have him off the ball than have Julius Randle on the ball.
Yeah, that's kind of how it breaks down with like every Julius Randle comp, I feel like, where it's like having a guy Julius Randle's size who can get you 24, 11, and 5 on league average efficiency, that might be more rare than the combination of talents that Miles Turner is providing. But do you want like the guy handling all of the star duties for your team to be Julius Randle? I feel like that limits your team in like a Sabonis-esque way a little bit.
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns.
So this is tough because if it was solely regular season, I probably would take Towns, but he now has kind of a track record in the playoffs of just very up and down. Like he can disappear, he can foul out early, he's very volatile, bad decision making, and then so Markkanen has the benefit of being an unknown here.
Mm-hmm.
So at this moment right now, I would take Markkanen.
I feel a very similar way. Pascal Siakam.
He wasn't that great in the playoffs this year either, was he? Or was he okay?
It's weird. I was looking at his game log doing this, his playoffs game log. So he opened it up back-to-back 36, 37-point games on like 60, 70% shooting. Like he was just unbelievable in those first couple. The next 5 or so, pretty mid. Like his efficiency was bad. His 3 was bad the entire postseason run, but specifically in those 5 games, he was like 20% from 3. After that, once you look at like the second half of the Knicks series all the way through the Celtics stuff, it becomes way more digestible. It was like 22 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists on 53% from the field and around 32% from 3, I believe. So not good on that front, but compared to like the entire average of the postseason run, it's a little bit better than that would indicate.
So that's interesting. So defensively, he's for sure better. Offensively, it's off-ball shooting mostly versus like shot creation and passing. So it really, when it comes to these two guys, I think it does depend on the team around them and like what you're asking them to do. Like, I feel like maybe a team relying on Siakam would go further than a team relying on Markkanen. But if they're both supporting stars, then maybe Markkanen is more portable and more of a ceiling raiser. So I don't. I think this one depends. I'll go Markkanen right now, but I'm open to Siakam arguments.
Yeah, this one's really hard to me. I agree with everything you said because like I mentioned, how $47 million kind of locks Lauri into that second best player on a team situation. The third best guy on a team, I love Markkanen's skill set for. The second best guy, it does feel like you want a certain level of shot creation there that for as Lowry pilled as I am, I do think that is a fair critique, is that like he is surviving almost wholly off the ball. Like you don't see him do a ton of on-ball creation in Utah, where they don't have that many like prolific on-ball scorers. So there's like possessions there to be had, and he's still not doing that much in that setting. So if like Tyrese Halliburton were to go down or get hurt or not play that well, and you turn to Lauri Markkanen and be like, hey, get downhill, generate the offense for us, get the ball, get the defense into rotation and everything. I think that is definitely a spot where Siakam is better. And so second option, I think I might go Siakam, but really it depends, like on the build of the team, because there's a lot of situations where like the Thunder right now, if you're paying Lowry 47 mil, but you have Jalen Williams on the roster who can do like a lot of that on-ball creation stuff, and you can have him be that off-ball player pretty much full time, I would be super comfortable with Markkanen in that role.
Yeah, it's how much does Siakam make?
It's a lot. He just got a big extension this year. Let me look it up real quick. Siakam contract
for Indiana specifically. I think Siakam's definitely better because if Halliburton and Markkanen were together, then you feel like you need a different rim pressure guy in the half court, a different like focal point, that like a Julius Randle.
yeah, that's honestly not like a bad comp for him at all. Yeah, 4 years, $188 million. So that's literally $47 million a year for
Oh,
Seattle.
so they're the same.
Well, yeah, and I feel of all the guys we've talked about so far, Cat's very close as well. And if we got like a postseason run where Cat was just his averages and none of like the crazy offensive fouls or foul trouble or all of that shit, if he was just like 22, 9, and 4 and shot the 3 really effectively, I think I would wholeheartedly put him into that category. But yeah, right now Siakam and Markkanen, I feel like tier for tier, yeah, they're there. This next one's interesting because I do feel like I just talked about him when we talked about Randall. Markkanen versus Sabonis. What do you think?
This is Markkanen for me. I would rather have Markkanen and Siakam just because, like I talked about a lot before. Like I just don't buy into the ceiling of a team that has Sabonis on ball a ton and playing a huge role. And he's just like, even Markkanen is not great defensively. He feels I think he's a better athlete, and I think he like is more mobile.
I feel like Markkanen's pretty good defensively. You watch more Jazz than I do, and so like I respect your opinion. And to be honest, like I think next year I want to specifically focus on that aspect of his film more. I feel like I see him settling in and doing like unique shit for a power forward defensively in a bad setting, to be fair.
You know what though? Did he miss time?
55 games this year. He did not.
Yeah. So I actually didn't see it. I didn't see much of him this year because I feel like by the time Bryce was getting playing time and I was tuning in, I feel like he wasn't there. But ultimately, like a lot of it is from like holdover opinion, probably from Chicago where he wasn't very good, and then
He's the same player he was with the Bulls, famously.
Oh man, in February of 2020 or 2019? Maybe it was 21. I don't know. Oh man,
I think it was 20. I know exactly what you're talking about because I was super Lauri pilled when he was with the Bulls, and his Cleveland stint got me off of him. Yeah. Like I remember the end of that. He was 2018-19. His season averages, he was 19 points per game, 9 rebounds on 43, 36, 87 shooting splits. And in February of that year, he was, let me pull this up.
But
oh my God. He was 26, 12, and 2 on 49, 35, 92 shooting splits for the whole month of February.
Booyah. That we were letting him cook in transition. I just got an alert that said Quincy Hall wins the 400 meter. Is that the 16-year-old kid? Or I thought that was Quincy Miller. Yeah.
Quincy Hall. Well, the first thing that pops up is Quincy Hall age. That person is 26 years old.
Okay. So not the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, it's I think Markkanen is like, he's a little tough because I feel like his lateral foot speed is not that quick, so he can't really guard great on the perimeter. And then he's kind of like a fake big. Like he's tall and he's got muscles, but he doesn't really like, he's not stout in the post. He doesn't block shots really. So, but he can jump a little bit. So overall, I'd still take him over Sabonis because probably more livable defensively, and then I'd rather have the guy who fits around an offense than as the centerpiece of the offense. He would be awesome with De'Aaron Fox.
Oh, he'd be like Malik Monk, Fox, Markkanen lineups would be sick as hell. And dude, imagine Keegan Murray and Markkanen like spacing the floor together. That'd be wild.
And who did they draft this? Oh, they drafted Devin Carter. Epic.
Okay, my last one. I just put this as like the Kuzma of the other end of the spectrum. Bam Adebayo.
Lauri Markkanen.
Are you serious?
For culture, no. just straight up racism. Definitely Bam. He's
Bam, and we have a lobbyist request about Bam. So here, let me timestamp this bitch real quick. Because I want to be good with those 48 lobby requests. Dominic Casanova says thoughts on the beautiful, lovely Bam propaganda this summer, and where would you rank him among the elite defenders in the NBA?
So I'm already putting Wemby ahead.
Fair. That's fair. I don't care.
Fine. I'll take Wemby ahead. I'll put him above Gobert. I feel like Anthony Davis at his best is still better. Draymond?
Not anymore for me. But Draymond's really good. He's really good. It's just like imagine Bam with just Podziemski. It feels like the Heat do such a dog shit job of like surrounding him with like capable defensive guys. Jimmy Butler's really good when he locks in. Like he's a good defender and everything, but Jesus, when I watch the Heat sometimes, that pisses me off. Shout out to Haywood Highsmith also, like athletic long guy, but it just feels like the infrastructure is not really there for Bam to continually lead Miami to like really elite defenses.
What have they finished during his time? Have they continuously been good? But they have so many guys miss time. What about Bam versus Giannis?
I I would still go Bam, I think. And this is where I don't know. I think Bam is better at rim protection and he's better at on ball defense. And I think Giannis is better at like free safety, playing I don't know, like helping cover ground and shit. But in general, I think Bam is better at like the two primary aspects of defense.
Is there anyone else in that conversation right now?
So we talked about Wemby, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, Giannis, and then Bam
And Draymond.
I guess Chet. I'll throw a nod to Chet. I think he would sound like he's probably at the bottom of that list we just said, but I think he's good enough to be mentioned in that list.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll still take Bam over him for the strength, but yeah, he's definitely up there. Derek Lively's too early. Who won the finals? The Celtics? Who was Al Horford.
Al Horford. Oh yeah, Jason Tatum for the intangibles.
So yeah, Bam is like definitely top 5, but it's hard for me honestly to place it. I would just say definitive. I feel confident in Wemby and Anthony Davis being better, and then after that, I don't know. Bam could be as high as 3, as low as like 5.
Yeah. I think 5 is his floor. A list where like Bam is 6, that would make me do a double take. So I'm on board with that. Yeah, we're Bam pilled over here, definitely. Frederick Borner.
Playing in next year though. We'll
Frederick Borner, you're gonna like this. It's Frederick's figure it out fact of the week. I have been to an Arby's at one point in my life. That's what he said. How does that make you feel?
That makes me very suspicious.
Is your suspect Arby's pilled? He eats a lot of beef and cheddars?
No, but I feel like we've talked about that before. That he's gone to Arby's. He's definitely been to Arby's.
Hey, I've been to Arby's a couple of times, but I got chicken tenders myself. The fries are delicious, though.
If it's not him, that's an incredible random guess.
Frederick, hey, I love you, man. I'm happy to have you here.
Zion's so specific.
Zion's Gumbo says, in 15 minutes, I'm taking a certification exam for work. Debate if you think I passed and come up with the most absurd thing I could be taking an exam for.
Zion's Gumbo. So he's definitely a forklift operator because he's huge.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
And did he pass? No, because he tipped over the forklift in front of the hottest girl at the factory. No.
Oh shit! Oh my god! I'm gonna say you passed. Forklift exam is what I was thinking. But if we're doing absurd shit, anybody who is like remotely close to being an underwater welder listening to this podcast would throw me for a loop. So I think that'd be fun.
Have you seen the videos of the girls on TikTok who and it's not just people, they call their parents and tell them that they're going to become an underwater welder?
No, I've never seen those. Do their parents freak out?
I've only seen girls and gay guys do it, and their dads are always like, do you know what that is? I don't think you'd like that. Are you sure you know what that is?
That does not sound like a career path for you, I think. That's crazy, dude. Yeah. Shout out to the underwater welders. I don't know how the fuck we build bridges in deep water, but you guys get it done. Partially. I'm sure there's other things that go into it. Luke Holmes wants to know, who do you think would be the peak guest you could get for the pod? Mrs. Sensabaugh would be fucking hilarious. That reminds me of this earlier. So if we ever got Bill Simmons on here, could we have a normal conversation, or would it just be us being super meta with stuff he probably has no idea about? Where we're referencing like Reddit posts about like his take.
Just go through his Reddit and be like, what do you think about this comment? Like, Bill should retire because he doesn't care. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what? Bill Simmons might leave the Ringer. His contract is coming up, so we'll see. What if he starts another company? Should we get in on the ground floor?
Yes, we will not unionize, Bill. Just let us in.
Do it. We
won't do it, dude.
But yeah, number one, Anthony Bourdain. If he was able to spend 2 hours back on Earth, that'd be pretty sick. We'd give him, a few hours giving Anthony Bourdain updates on what's happened since he's died. That would be.
Oh my god, dude! Margaret Thatcher or Henry Kissinger bid it. He would be so happy. Oh my god.
Yeah. I'd love to show him The Bear. I bet he'd love The Bear. He would have been in The Bear, I bet.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So that would be sick. In terms of like, I'm trying to think of NBA centric people. I think Stuart Scott would be a cool person if we're bringing people back to life. And we could just get him to go booyah, and we could get it on a soundboard, and we could play it for the rest of our stuff. And we definitely can't do that right now. Stephen A would be fun.
Yeah.
just to be like, what? How do you sleep at night, pal? Like, what do you think you did to the state of discourse?
It'd be fun to do a movie. It would be fun if we all watched Trap and then Stephen A was doing a review with us. That would be so good.
Yeah.
If we read all those Stormlight whatever chronicles and then we did a podcast with Wemby about it, that would be pretty sick.
Oh, that'd be dope. Or if I didn't get banned, there's a universe out there where I keep getting further into Overwatch instead of getting banned from competitive play. Then like hour and a half with Luca about the evolution of the meta of Overwatch over time and like what his favorite meta was and stuff. That could be super cool.
Joe Biden bullying podcast.
Oh,
what?
That'd be fun.
Speak up. Talk faster.
What's that behind you? Someone's behind you.
Obama podcast where we're diplomatic talking about basketball, and then at the end we just ask him, like, was LeBron under more pressure in 2011, or you when you were doing that war crime when you blew up?
Yeah. So Dirk 2011, or you getting Osama bin Laden, which you think more legacy? Yeah.
How many children would you sacrifice for $1 million? right now.
Right now. And then compare that to how many you would have if you had lost in 2008. What were you at back then? Because like right now, $1 million probably doesn't do the same that it did for you back then. That's all the lobbyist requests I wrote down. Dude, let me timestamp it. We get into it. What the fuck did you think about Trap, man?
It was not. There's obvious like holes and stuff, but I had a lot of fun watching.
My exact takeaway. I went into it knowing, I was like, this is a movie where we're having fun. You know, he is trying to have fun. We are trying to have fun. And the whole time I was like, this is super fucking fun, man. It was such a good time. And I liked a lot. So we don't have to go like full spoilers right now. We can talk about it and then maybe get into spoilers in like 10 minutes or something. I liked the final 30 minutes, how none of that was in any of the previews.
Yeah.
Like, it really helped it come out of left field for me. Like, it wasn't like a classic Shyamalan twist where it recontextualizes the rest of the movie or something, but it was just like something I didn't expect to happen. And it made it more fun for me. Like the whole time was fun.
So No, we'll just do spoilers right
All
away.
right,
Guys,
spoilers
if you
right
don't want to be
now,
spoiled,
baby.
turn it off.
Go
So,
watch. Pause this. Go see Trap. It's fun. It's worth it. It's only an hour and 40 minutes, which is the most based thing about it. We need short movies again, and yeah, go watch it. Come back. Finish this podcast.
so he ends up leaving the theater, and then it becomes more of like a traditional type thriller type movie. A lot of
Leaving
people
the
were,
concert, you mean?
what'd I say?
Theater.
Yes, leaving the performance of a lifetime by
Yeah, leaving
M
Lady
Night
Raven.
Shyamalan's Lady Raven. I'm gonna look right now. I think her stuff is on streaming services. I want to see if it's under Lady Raven or if it's under, yeah. Her name is Salika. But she has a Lady Raven album out right now. So that's
And I will say,
epic.
yeah.
Basically,
Oh, hello.
wait, I think we lagged for a second.
God, it's because Lady Raven took up too much fucking RAM, dude. Oh my god. I was gonna say like so obviously that's one of the core points of the movie is that he's trying to give his daughter like a pop star career.
Yeah.
It was the music. It was survivable. Like the music was pretty good. What we listened to, like it didn't detract from my experience. And then her acting, the fact that he gave her such a big role, that I was like, damn, okay, she's like important in this movie. Shit. And like I don't know. I thought it was survivable. I thought it was fine to the point where like I was still having fun the whole time.
So for those of you listening who haven't seen it but don't care about spoilers and you just want to know what was going on, this entire movie, it was a trap. It turned out to be a trap to promote his daughter. His daughter is the pop star. She's singing music, which is real music that she made, and yes, she gets to be the main actress, the main singer, and Kid Cudi and Russ were in the movie, and I can't help but wonder like, did they have to be in, or was she just like, hey, I'd like to meet these guys, I'd love to meet Kid Cudi, and then this was just a way for them to meet. So that is so epic. But I do think it would have been better if they never left the arena, if the entire movie was just about him trying different ways, different like whimsical ways to get in and out. I think it would have been more fun, but I was still okay with it. But that seems to be the point where a lot of people are mad about it. They're like, as soon as it left the concert, I hated it.
I don't know. I did not feel that way about it. Maybe if I rewatched it and I know that all of that is coming, it will kind of lose its edge a little bit. To me, I liked how the daughter reacted to everything. And so like the daughter's not fucking stupid the whole time.
Yeah.
She's like, you are being weird as shit. And so that, like, if we have that, he can't do the silly stuff. Like when he's like, we should go in the trap door and skip the rest of this
That would have
concert.
been great.
I was fine if they were going to do that, but the fact that they didn't, I was like, oh yeah, like that is an insane thing to say. Like, why would you ask her to do that right now? And so once they leave the concert, yeah, I liked it because I that's when I really didn't know what was going to happen. For the whole time he was in the concert, I was like, okay, he's gonna be crazy and try to get out of here. Like he's doing like a reversed heist situation, essentially. Like he's just trying to cause enough chaos to where he can slip out of one of these gates and it's on everybody else to fuck up and let him out. But once we're out of the concert, then I was like, okay, where this is uncharted territory in terms of like my projections for this movie. What are we gonna do? And so especially when she took his phone and went live on Instagram, I was like, damn, okay, now we're in I was still having fun at that point.
I was wondering, like, how does this pay? Because as soon as like he confesses to her that he's the butcher and he's the one everyone's looking for, I was thinking like, I'm just sacrificing that kid who's already in the
100%.
basement. Like, he's already done for. So I'm just reporting the butcher, and maybe I'll tell security, get his phone, because but maybe he'll never tell him where that guy is. But I'm sure they could find him. But the idea of taking his phone and then live streaming and getting your fans to find the hidden guy and essentially trading your life for his, because she was gonna die. But that little convoluted.
That was the weakest part of the movie to me.
What would your play have been? He brings you also right before he confesses to her. You hear the daughter say, because they got a gift bag. The daughter's like, "It has tattoos. He could have covered up his rabbit tattoo with the concert tattoo." It was crazy. It's crazy they threw that in and he just didn't do it. Maybe he just got lost in the sauce. But what would your play have been? He pulled you aside and he's like, "I'm the butcher."
He took the slap bracelet and put it over his tattoo.
Yeah, but that's not that good.
I wasn't that worried about the tattoo. To be honest, the fact that the security camera caught, it's like a tiny tattoo the size of like a quarter on his wrist of a rabbit. The fact that the security footage that they're tracking him off of, all of this, caught that tattoo, that was another part where I was like, oh, that's fucking weird. But that didn't matter that much. My play, so like, first of all, from my perspective, he goes, "I'm the butcher." And in my brain, I go, okay, so if you get out of here, that guy's dead anyways. You're a serial killer who kills people and chops them up. Why would that guy be like he's going to die? So let's get this going. Like, it's fine. Like, it sucks. I'm sorry, Spencer, but you got to go. Cause I'm not leaving this building with 20,000 cops in it to just like maybe go like fix everything at this guy's fucking house.
Yeah. And so the plan in its entirety, like, the whole police force is there to grab this one guy. And what kind of questions were they going to ask him? Like, if he went out the front door and police just had to interview him, how would they have caught him?
Yeah, that was another thing where I was like, this guy. Okay, so first and foremost, this exact point in the discussion that we are having, yeah, the movie breaks apart. Like, I want everyone to be, it doesn't hold up to this level of analysis that we're doing. It's just fun. But like, if he's this fucking genius who can like blow up an oil fryer in somebody's face and then sleight of hand an apron and a walkie-talkie away from a room full of SWAT officers, you're telling me he can't go sit down for an interview and be like, give the answers that every other person gave? I mean, maybe the tattoo makes that impossible, but I don't know. Like, yeah.
And they have like 5 different descriptions. They're like, it's either a guy who looks like this, or looks like this, or looks like this.
Yeah.
Like, based on the scene of the crime. So like, it's a funny, like, there's no way they would have caught him if he just played it cool. But also, yeah, I would have loved to see more. We saw him put the oil and ruin that girl's face.
Mm-hmm.
We saw him push the other girl down the stairs. I would have liked to see more of that stuff. I would have liked to see more hijinks across. I would have liked to see him screw over that girl's mom somehow.
Yeah.
I would have liked it if like one of the characters was a DJ, like a marshmallow type DJ or something, like someone who wears a mask, and then he somehow ends up on stage and like having to perform.
Whoa. And that could be a fun bit, because that's like such an M Night Shyamalan movie joke. Is like, oh, DJing is, you don't do anything. Like, they already hit play on the playlist, and now you just get to like dance around on stage. Like, that feels like a joke that would be in his movies.
What would be, and then what if the twist was like someone was there to kill the DJ and they killed him? They shoot him on stage.
Yeah. So I think there's definitely a world where this is rated PG-13 right now, I believe. And a rated R version of this movie, I feel like it gives us all of that, but the crux of him popularizing his daughter's performance and like music and everything to a wider audience, especially like the audience of like tweens that are going to be into her kind of music and stuff. I mean, maybe you will too, based on the shit you listen to. I don't know.
Hey.
Yeah, like he's never gonna make it rated R. But if it was rated R, yeah, I think we probably get a lot more of what you're saying.
I wish they had Olivia Rodrigo in this movie because she's an actress too, and I feel like she would have been into it.
Yeah.
And like I do think there like if they came to Olivia Rodrigo with this plan, like, hey, we know a serial killer is gonna
Oh
attend
yeah.
your concert, I feel like she would be into it. She'd be like, yeah, tell me all the details. Okay, I'll help catch him. But yeah, it is so. There were I want to know what happened to the daughter. Like, why was she bullied with the other kids? There's a lot of hints to stuff that don't pay off.
Yeah. There are some things like that where it does feel like we didn't a lot of the concert time, just in terms of like the ratio of payoff, a lot of it is spent talking to that bitchy redheaded mom, and then the payoff for that is like uh uh what's her name? It's not Rachel, the daughter of the butcher.
I forget. Is it like Becca?
Riley. I think it's
Oh,
Riley.
Riley.
Which, I mean, shout out to Inside Out also. Riley's just a popular name now, I guess. The only payoff to that bitchy mom segment, in which we get like 10 minutes of, is Riley getting on stage for the Dreamers song,
Yeah.
and then the kid and her mom screaming at each other, which that does lead to one of my favorite lines in the movie, where they're like straight up just have like, screaming at each other in the audience, and the mom goes, "You little beast," and I thought that was
Yeah.
really funny.
Oh, another missed like wasted potential is the worker, who like the shirt salesman guy.
Yeah, the
If
goat, one of the best part of the movie.
he was so good. I want more of him. And if he's like the Butcher super fan, it would have been great if there was an angle where he's like trying to solve it himself, figure out who it is, and maybe he's like working with Josh Hartnett the whole time, like they're a little buddy cup duo. That could have been an avenue they explored. Um, yeah, I would have loved if they just stayed at the concert. It would have been so good. And the like leaving the concert parts were good, but I don't like the newsroom from the newsroom. I wish she wasn't in it.
Oh, is she the newsroom from the newsroom? To me, she's Kim from Scott Pilgrim. She's "We Are Sex Bombs" and we're here to kick your ass or whatever.
I saw Scott Pilgrim once a long time ago, so I don't really remember it that well. But yeah, she's definitely newsroom from
Really
newsroom.
good. And Scott Pilgrim, he's a morally good person. That's the thing you should take away from the film.
Oh, okay.
You should go rewatch it and keep that in mind. That'll age really well. Yeah, so I thought her coming out of nowhere, another thing where they don't show any of it in the trailers. I liked it. It was fun. I was like, oh, it's her. Cool. But I do understand, if we stay at the concert the whole time and like the ending is literally him walking out of the door or something, there's probably yeah, more. I don't. My brain is coming up with like Rube Goldberg type hijinks where like he is just actively grabbing shit and making stuff happen with it. I wasn't like yearning for that, but I wouldn't be mad if that's the direction the film had gone.
And so M Night Shyamalan is like famous for his twists, and so everyone's always trying to predict the twist. And so, going into this movie, I saw a lot of people say they thought the twist would be two. There were two popular theories. One, everyone thought the daughter would be in on it, or would be like a killer herself, or something like that, and he was like covering for her or something. The other thing, people thought that the twist could be they're there to catch a different killer, and there's like two serial killers in there. Both would have been okay, but the twist they went with turns out that his wife, newsroom from newsroom, Scott Pilgrim from Scott Pilgrim, she suspected that he was cheating, followed him, found that he had like a warehouse, empty warehouse or whatever, started putting the pieces together that like, hey, could he be the butcher? And then planted a ticket at his warehouse. Or did she accidentally drop the ticket, or did she plant it?
She planted it. So she follows him to a place where she thinks he's having an affair. She follows him there. After he leaves, she breaks in, finds that it's just like a table, a chair, and like handcuffs or something. And she's like, she starts to put it together. And so, yeah, she had a receipt that he bought from the tickets. She tears it up into like, makes it look like a mistake. She leaves it there. She reports the warehouse as being like, hey, this is sketchy. I don't know. And so that is the avenue through which the FBI sets up the entire concert as a trap. They're like, okay, we know he's going to be here this day. We can do all of this stuff. So to me, I really didn't treat that as the twist.
But no, the twist is even further. But then
Okay, keep going.
She knew he would escape. And then the real twist was they had pie together and she put his dust on the pie because she knew he would come back and she knocked him out that way. I was like, what? Like that part was really convoluted to me. I was like, so you knew he was gonna come back, but you didn't like keep the police in the room or whatever? Like your whole plan was to have his dust in there?
So the way I interpreted it is that I did not realize that was part of her plan, if that's what was said in the movie. I interpreted it as she grabbed his bag of shit out of the car while the cops were doing everything, and then it happened to be in the right place for her to fuck with the pie as she was giving it to him. So I mean, don't get me wrong, the last 10 minutes are right up there with the Instagram live part in terms of like, what's going on? But I did really enjoy the triple taser scene at the end. That did the whole theater laughed at that. Where like the police tase him once, two guys tase him at the same time. He like pops a guy's eye out of its socket fighting somebody. He gets tased by three
he
people.
didn't get shot.
Yeah, he's just getting tased and like surviving, like he's staying upright and everything, and just keeps tanking it until the Clarice FBI stand-in lady shows up and tases him for good, and he collapses and everything. Yeah, what I treated as the twist was him holding up his phone and going, "I'm the butcher." That for me was like, whoa, like where are we going? What are we doing? I did not expect that.
Well, they gave us that in the trailer.
What?
Oh wait, which moment are you talking about? Oh, to the pop star.
Yeah, to Lady Raven. That's when I was like, that was a good enough twist for me. Like if we don't get that specific ending where his wife knows everything, I would still be like, I did not see the end of that movie coming.
Yeah, that was a huge twist. When she ends up with all three phones. I think she had Riley's phone too, didn't she?
Yes,
when she goes in the bathroom. Like, is the live stream the best play, or should you just break his phone so he can't activate the thing? Also, there was a window, but I don't know if it was openable. But could you crash it and get out? I don't know. She has a driver outside the whole time.
Yeah. So to me, my play in that specific situation is you get in there, all three phones. He is fucking with that door for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Arguing with the family.
Yeah, if you want to go on Instagram Live, if that's your move, it's okay. The first thing you do is say the address of where you are. You go, I am at 108 Monk Road or wherever the address is.
I think that it was Monk Road, I think.
Yeah, well, I just watched this 12 hours ago. So like it's locked in for me. Yeah, you go live and you're like, I am here, send the police. I am here, like this is an emergency right now. Then like not doing that, immediately going to, we need to find this guy. We need to use all of these clues to track down where he is. We need to use the internet, blah, blah, blah. Even though you have his phone and he can't start the killing CO2 shit without his phone. So like you don't have to, finding Spencer immediately is not the problem. Him getting his phone back is the problem.
Yeah. So the FBI lady too, I feel like could have had a bigger part. Like they could have incorporated more of like a genius mastermind chess match type thing with those two. That would have been a cool element. We didn't see much of her. We know she's an expert, and I guess they kind of imply at the end, like when she comes in, it's like, haha, I outwitted you. But I don't know. Well, he does get away in the very end again, right?
I like the ending. Yeah. So all we get in
the bike.
the ending, which again, it all falls apart when you look at it this close. Why he's being arrested for the murder and dismemberment of 12 people. They're gonna let him like stop on the way to the car to set his daughter's bike upright and everything.
Because he has
OCD. Yeah, and
so they're not gonna be able to.
Yeah, all the cops escorting him know that. So yeah, that is how he gets like he gets like a piece of wire essentially to undo his handcuffs. And it ends with him laughing maniacally in the back of the car. I like it. I wanted him to win, and so I'm fine with it. But yeah, the bike specifically is a little ridiculous.
Yeah, it was interesting because he's not a creep. He's just a killer. So he's killing men and women, and he's not boinking them or anything. So
Nope.
It's just the love of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's respectable. That's commendable. Josh Hartnett is his name.
Yeah. Has he been in other stuff? I don't know if I've seen him in anything.
He's in the new season of The Bear. And that's it.
Who is he?
He's Richie's ex-wife's new husband in The Bear.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, when I saw that episode, I was like, oh, trapped
That's
in the bear.
Butcher.
It's a butcher. Richie, get out of there. Yeah, so Josh Hartnett, dude, fucking 2018 LeBron. And the rest of everyone else in the movie is the Cavs. Especially M Night's daughter. Like the scenes where it's like him versus her in the limo, like kind of cat and mouse, or like, I don't know, he is acting against a fucking statue as far as I'm concerned, because she was good. He is like delivering the performance of his career in this movie.
He was so good. And then what would you say the merchandise guy is? He's like Mike Miller 2012 or something.
Oh yeah, so if we're calling this like the 2018 Cavaliers, he would probably be like hot hand J.R. Smith, maybe, or maybe like Toronto series Kevin Love, or Toronto series Kyle Korver, also like just a really good 15 minutes out of him that the movie doesn't work without, and is probably like the third or fourth best actor in this movie, because like Josh is really good, the daughter is really good for a child actor. And then Newsroom Scott Pilgrim, even though like I'm not huge on what her character adds to the overall story, her specific acting was pretty good.
And then there was an after credits scene with that guy where he's like, "Crap, I left that's what was his name in the movie?"
Cooper.
Yeah, that's Cooper. that was a good moment.
Yeah, I liked it. It was just went over the line to corny for me, where he's like, I'm not talking to nobody at work no more. I would have rather he was just like, oh, that's Cooper, and then they like fade to black or whatever. I'm fun, but regardless, it was fun to see him one more time, and canonically a 76ers fan.
What did he say that?
He's wearing a 76ers hoodie in the post-credit scene.
Okay. And are they in Philadelphia? They are.
Yes. Yeah, they're in Philadelphia. Wait, I wanted to do this. Where do the 76ers play home games? The Wells Fargo Center. So this takes place at a different arena in Philadelphia, I guess. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was not the Wells Fargo Center. So no Joel Embiid Butcher allegations, I guess.
Why were there no Sixers at the Lady Raven concert?
Yeah, that's what's
Jared
crazy.
McCain would have been there.
Oh, Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey, they run into him backstage, and like the Butcher like drops all the anxiety for a second. He's like, holy shit, Tyrese Maxey, dude, I love you. Oh my god.
He does a TikTok dance with Jared McCain, and the silly band falls off, and everyone's commenting, wait, he has the rapid or I guess the public didn't know that.
Yeah. But regardless, I had a really good time. I had fun time.
It was
So,
great.
do you have any final thoughts?
No, get out to the movies, everybody.
Get out to the movies. You know who
Who would the butcher's victims could have used
a tall guy
to save their life?
Oh yeah, a big, tall, strong man to save their life. I got one coming up right now, Mr. Gasol. Take it away.
Lay down a list of what